Now that we've got a lot of the page structure and outlining done, let's start to add in some of our content. So I'm going to go back to environmental brand, this template, and I'm going to start to copy out some of this content and make some stuff happen. So I'm just going to go in, this is under, let's see, my main content, so I'm going to bring that in. Probably want to wrap that with a paragraph tag because that's kind of what that is. And I'll go ahead and give that the other paragraph tag around the next one. There we go. It's not very common that I say that we should use it, but I'm actually going to give this thing an HR, which is a horizontal rule. Not very common, but if we go to our code view, you'll see that it looks pretty much like their site. Then let's go back to environmental brand. Let's grab that Our Amazing Team. This time I'll be a little bit more smart about the way that I do it. I'll start with my paragraph tag and then paste in my code. And if we want, we can clean up or apply the source formatting so it looks a little bit nicer. Let's grab our quotes as well. I'm in the wrong one. Here we go. Now I'm going to grab these quotes and we're going to do something very special with these quotes. So in my code, let's go to where that quote is, testimonials. There it is. I'm going to do the same thing and I'm going to type in my quote there. Now this is actually two different quotes. Or maybe it's just one quote. I don't know. We'll treat it as one quote. Now, even though we have a paragraph tag here, it's actually a good idea for us also to have a quote tag, and that's just the Q tag. So I'm going to wrap that text with the Q tag. So I'm going to cut that with Control X and paste it around environment, and then after that I can do my other paragraph, which is the information about potential client testimonial. Or I'll just give it somebody's name, George Lucas. Don't know why I chose him, just happened to have Star Wars on the brain. So let's take a look at our design element. And you'll notice I've got pretty much everything I need there. I don't have the image yet, but I've got my testimonials, and then I've got my content, and I've got my amazing team there, article, and I've got the section, and I've got my, let's see, we need our side information, the small information. So that means our extras right here. That one gets a little tricky here because we've got three different things. We're great to work on with projects, we have great ideas that benefit you, and we care about the environment a lot. Now if we notice, each one is a small one with an icon and information. We've got lots of different ways that we can do this particular thing. But if we want to put those images in there as default images, then one way that we might do it is actually by placing the image itself, or we can do it through CSS. There's lots of different ways that we can work with it. I'm going to go ahead and create three small little sections inside here. So this will be div. I'll even give it a class equals I don't know, what would that be? Extra. Let's see, the first one is we are great to work with on projects. And that's pretty much it. I'm just going to do that. I'm going to do that and then that. Let's see, the next one would be we have great ideas that benefit you. If I went back to the right software, that'd be great. And the last one is we care about the environment. We care about the environment a lot. Now the question is, should we go ahead and use these classes extra, or should we give it some sort of name which makes a little bit more sense? Right now I can just do extra 1, extra 2, and extra 3 just to make it easy for us. But it might be better for us to have a more semantic name, projects, benefits, or ideas, and environment. So maybe that would be great. Projects, benefits, we care. Or no, that's environment, because it looks like it is going to be using that icon. Now, I do want you to be aware I'm using the class, and the reason I'm using the class is currently on this page, I actually have these 3 things used somewhere else. So I thought that might be nice for us to be aware of, because if we're using this more than once on a page, it really means that we might want a class if we want to assign that image with CSS. Just something to think about. So that's why I have that. Let's see, we've got our page footer information down here. Let's see what we've got. We've got our copyright. So we're going to have our copyright information. We might want to go ahead and put that inside of a paragraph. And by the way, a symbol like this, we typically have to encode. So it's going to be and copy semicolon. That's typically the way that we want to do it, and we're already in 2012, believe it or not. Then let's see what else we have. We have some navigation here, Home Services Portfolio Blog, and then who designed it. I guess we can take off who designed it, but we also have Home Services Portfolio Blog and About Us here at the top. Doesn't really matter exactly if we use the same exact stuff. So what does matter though is that we have a navigation list. I'm going to use the same list in my global navigation as I use in the very bottom. So over there on the global navigation, I'm actually going to go to my design view because it does make it a little bit easier for me to work. If I start typing in About Us, Services, Products, Blog, and Contact. We might even want that Home up there too. This is going to become a list. Easiest way for me to create a list out of it is just select it and go to the list and choose Unordered List. If I go back, you'll see that we have that list inside the nav area. Now, since we have a nav area at the top, it would be smart for us also to have a nav area at the bottom. So I'm going to select this nav area and copy that, go down to the bottom underneath the copyright, and go ahead and put that nav ID equals footer nav. Something like that. Now what's happening is I have the same navigation at the top and at the bottom, which is a very semantic way of doing it. Now another thing that we could do here, by the way, is we could, because this copyright is in a very special place, I typically give it something like a class equals copyright. That way I can control it the way I want to. And then after the nav, let's see, there it is, I'm going to go ahead and do another P class, and this is going to be my site information. Let's see, that's the web designer information. So I'm going to just call it site info, and that will be design inspired by, and then this particular environmental brand. I'm just putting that in there so I can be nice. And what I do is usually have that be a link that goes to the original website. But we can do that in another time. So anyway, we've got basically